because I knew I was going to get
lots of steps. You wouldn't believe how many people come by fitness right before vacation because they know they're going to get tons of steps. So that's just a little bit of my background. A little bit more. I worked in cancer before. I was completely unhappy with my life and depressed, you know, just not meeting people. All I did was work. I taught aerobics, which was great and was, you know, filled me and made me feel good in that moment. But then I went home to my dog and, you know, a house with nothing in it. So I decided that I'm responsible for my own happiness and joy. So I left a, you know, very stable, secure, grown-up job in the medical field to pursue my passion and happiness as well in fitness. So that's how I wound up teaching yoga. I'd always done it on the side, but, you know, I was happy in that hour out of 24 hours, and it's like, okay, well then maybe I need to pursue doing that 8 hours a day and then be a grown-up maybe a couple other hours of the day. So that's a little bit about my background. I kind of wanted to piggyback on Corey. He brought up some really good points that are also applicable to yoga, which was the explore. I think I wrote it down and then my mama brain it forgot. But anyway, I think the exploration part is really the part I really want you guys to hone in on. And I say that because yoga is like a journey to me, where it's like, okay, well, what's tight? What's hurting? Where am I strong? Where am I weak? And really embracing those things. So I would say today, like maybe you know that your upper body is a little bit weaker, then, you know, don't get discouraged or don't get upset with yourself. Just kind of, if you need to take a break, then take that break. And just embrace that moment, because our bodies are different at different times, at different days. So maybe you've done 15, 20 push-ups earlier this week, and then today we get into some things and your arms are not as strong as they were, let's say earlier this week on Tuesday. Every day is completely different. So I consider every yoga class practice like a different journey. So, and it'll have its own little pathway. So I just want to encourage you guys today that I don't plan on doing anything super hard unless I see that the potential is there, and then I will explore that little rabbit hole is what I call it. But for the most part, I plan on keeping it simple. I know that there are various levels of people in their yoga practice. And so I don't want you to feel intimidated, but I do want you to pay attention to your body and listen to your body. I'll guide you, but essentially I want you to listen to your own voice, just like you would any other workout, where it's like you have an instructor there pushing you, and you know, maybe even some of them yell at you, but then you're like, you know, that's just too much. And so I just want to take a step back and say, I'm really here to motivate you and to guide you, but not to push you over the edge, but maybe even push you to the edge. Maybe some of you have never done yoga, so you don't even know what your strengths are. Kind of like what Corey said, you know, you don't really know some things about yourself, and you really just need to kind of explore those things and embrace them, and then evolve from that. Like he said, that was the other point that I thought was really cool, that, you know, just if you notice maybe, you know, you can only touch your toes, get this far to touch your toes, then evolve from that. Like, you know, maybe for the rest of the week after you shower, just do your best to try to reach further and further. So just wanted to just kind of extend his message of exploring and evolving, which is applicable both on your mental and the physical, which I also wanted to touch on, that yoga is mental and physical as well, which is why I'm glad Devin brought the two together today. We'll spend some time at the end doing just your own, I have soft music, like Corey said, just some breathing exercises to maybe slow you down. I can imagine as women, you've had a busy week or even a busy morning. So this is an opportunity to really just slow down and connect to your breathing, which helps your brain, because you get more oxygen. With each deep breath, you get more oxygen in your blood, so that you can get more oxygen in your brain to find more clarity, whether it's to conquer your to-do list, or maybe, you know, some creative project that's been kind of stalling or something like that. So that's my goal for you today. And then the take-home point is really that you just take care of your body. You only get one, and so it's, you know, a matter of, and the body comes with the mind as well as the spirit, so take care of that as well. So we'll try to hit on those things, and I coach you through breathing through the practice. So if you find yourself like, Oh my gosh, her deep breath is so long. Usually I'm not on the same breath as you, but also it's just to encourage you to breathe slower and deeper. And so if you find that you're exhaling before I say exhale, don't worry about it. Just breathe, you know. And so, because this is just time for you to take care of yourself and really be mindful of the things that make you awesome, which is your mind, body, and soul. So, all right. Before we get started, I'm going to ask us to stagger. I find when people are kind of close in quarters, they limit themselves and they get a little bit apprehensive. So I'm going to ask you to stagger just a little bit so that when I decide that, you know, we're going to do all this kind of stuff, you'll have plenty of space because you're all dying to do that, right? Yeah. That's exactly why we got up to come to this event so we could do extended tree poses and the splits. You say you do the splits, right? Yes.
Oh, there's a bag. Just put in that bag right there.
Some cake, some candy.